Well, it's the old airstrip in the hills that used to be a crop. Was used for crop dusting at one stage. It's probably 800 or 900 meters long, maybe about 15 meters wide. Slopes a couple of percent, not dreadfully sloping, but sloping enough to give you a bit of a downhill advantage when taking off to the southwest, and better still an uphill advantage if you had to make an emergency landing up towards the northeast here. So that's about, I guess, 600 or 700 meters to the regrowth trees down at the bottom there, and comparatively smooth. There are a couple of little plants, a tea tree or something growing up there, and then up at this end quite a lot more regrowth, which would slow you down if you were landing uphill and you hadn't managed to get it slowed down in time before you hit the gum trees. Those bushes and things there would help slow you down a bit. There's another 150 meters perhaps, maybe 200 meters there. And in fact what appears to have been a turning area once. It's rather wider there than the parallel part of the strip. It's interesting to see, and it's interesting that this part of it, the majority of it, the 600 meters in the middle here, has still been cleared. So somebody's been in here with a scraper or a bulldozer or something, or a grader, keeping it clear, which is rather nice.
So what, how would folk in a, say something like a Piper Seneca get on if they were, say, lost their critical engine that they're flying out? Could they make it back to Jandakot if they're over here?
Most of these light airplanes, up to about 6,000 pounds, I think, are in a performance category in which in ISA, that's International Standard Atmosphere, that's a temperature of 15 degrees and a pressure of 10-13, which we don't very often get here. At maximum weight, they should be able to maintain flight on one engine if the gear and the flaps are retracted, if the cowl flaps are closed, and if you get everything right. In other words, they won't be able to maintain height under normal circumstances at maximum weight. They'll be descending a couple of hundred feet a minute, so it would very much depend on the wind, on the temperature on the day, and how heavy you were, how much fuel you had on board, how many people on board, whether you could get back to Jandakot from here. But you could certainly land almost any aeroplane with a wingspan of less than 45 feet here safely without hurting anybody. You damage the aeroplane, you might damage the undercarriage of a retractable undercarriage aeroplane. You probably wouldn't damage the undercarriage of a fixed gear aeroplane here. And you could plonk it down softly and you could all get out and walk away. You may not get the aeroplane out again in the future without dismantling it, but that is of secondary importance to keeping everybody alive. And you would, in most light airplanes, anything less than 5 tons or something, you'd be able to land here, get the thing stopped under control without hurting anybody, and quite possibly without even damaging the airplane.